Welcome back to Owing Movies Rewind, watching every single episode on the 10-year anniversary. Today we've got Terminator 2. This is the your foster parents are dead scene. Got a little cool bit of special effects in it. Let's take a look. And this has Matt reprising his role as the Terminator. Okay, did you notice that it shifted color? Let me just talk a little bit about color grading here. This is a master class in color grading doing the show, because every time when I'm editing these, you edit and the focus is more on them being shot for shot and getting every little thing right with the timing. But trying to match the coloring of every different type of movie and every different director, and they all have different styles, was really, really cool. I just learned so much about color grading and the fact that I was copying these. Again, you learn from the masters. Even when it comes to fine art and painting, the same thing goes with video. So I can't imagine any kind of film school that would have been the same as doing hundreds of episodes where I was matching the color grading. So really, really cool to do that. And it looks cool.
Dog's really barking.
Obviously, you see the behind the scenes. Oh, Davey. I worked with him a ton pre-homemade movies and lots of videos. And there's Hari. This was Davey's first actual homemade movies episode, I think. He was like my old school character actor.
I'm right here. I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Okay, really funny story. I can't remember if I talked about this in the behind the scenes. So in the first Terminator episode, there's a whole section in the behind the scenes where Matt goes to the barber and he shaves and he gets his hair cut. And this one, I think he was doing some other role, so he couldn't cut his hair anymore. And I'm thinking of we have these little clips that you just clip everything because nothing really fits right. You just clip it on. So I was telling him on the phone, well, if anything, we can just clip it. And then he's like, no, I don't want to clip it. He thought I was talking about clipping it, cutting it. No big deal, we'll just cut your hair. So we had this whole conversation that in retrospect is really funny because thinking about his version of it versus my version, which I'm like, no, we'll clip it. And he's like, no, we're not going to be doing that. And I'm like, no, it's no big deal. We'll just depending on the camera angle, we'll just clip it. And he's like, again, we will not be clipping it. Not that he was being rude or anything, but from his perspective, he's like, what is Dustin thinking? No, we're not going to be clipping my hair until he got there on the day that we were shooting it. And then I busted out the clips and he was like, oh, I thought you were talking about cutting my hair, clipping my hair. Anyways, I always think about that.
You're all right.
What's the dog's name?
I love this
Max.
little phone booth setup. We used the plexiglass right there in the dining room.
I can hear him barking.
Made it really easy to shoot these parts.
Wolfie's fine, honey. Wolfie's just fine.
Shot these in the kitchen.
Where are you?
Hari's so good at this. Such a great way to tune.
Foster parents are dead.
Okay, here it comes. Boo, special effects. Built that cardboard arm. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's a cool effect. Because obviously it goes in his mouth, stops, goes to the milk carton, and then there's a separate piece that he's kind of just holding. I don't know if we taped it to his head. I don't remember. I have to watch the behind the scenes. And it just looks like it's going straight through. So cool. Also, shout out to that tiny, small leather jacket that fit me, but when we put it on Matt and he's so tall, so much bigger, it just made it look tiny, but it looked awesome. All right. It's so good. These are just practical effects. Okay, here, there wasn't a whole lot of ways to do this. She turns it, she looks at it, and then very practical. It slides down. But I was thinking of this next one where we couldn't really do much other than fade entirely, dissolve. So that's just, full-blown dissolve into this guy that we just covered in foil for 1 second. Gosh, I didn't remember who was in the foil. I can't even remember now. But yeah, he played the cop, and then we cover this dude in foil just so we can just match that movement. We probably should have taken the cop stuff off before we put the foil on because it looked a little bulky. But anyways, really cool episode. Love that one. This was at the point where we weren't really picking a lot of super action-packed ones because they were so hard. I'm sure Cinefix would have preferred we did the motorcycle chase or something, but we're how on earth would we do this? But this is a really cool, iconic scene, and it's a little simpler. And if we do this, it'll allow us to do some other bigger ones. So we just had to start making those compromises. What's next? Oh, okay. Well, okay, next is one of my favorite ones ever. So maybe that's why we did a simpler one, because we were working on the Back to the Future musical song, Great Scott. The second of only 2 original songs that I wrote and recorded and we did a video for. Super excited to watch that. So I'll see you next week for that one.